Alright then guys, welcome to the video, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see I have my Civic Type R EP3 behind me, and today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video that I've never done before, and that is, I shot a video almost 5 years ago now of me talking about everything that I'd done to this at that point, and I just thought it would be fun to reminisce on old times, go through that video and see what's actually changed in the last 5 years. And talking about things that have changed, as you can see with this banner on here, this is LimitR, this is my new brand that is going alongside the car stuff. A few of you have ordered stuff already and it is so cool to be able to see where you guys are sticking the stickers and the colors of clothing that you've chosen and seeing that. Huge shout out to you guys if you've ordered anything. I'll leave a link down below to the site if you want to pick anything up. I've got hoodies, I've got t-shirts, as well as the windscreen banners, stickers. Anything you buy from that is directly going towards supporting the car stuff or to growing the brand. Okay, so I'm watching the video on my phone so that I can relay to it. But a bit of background, so I got this car September 2016. I think I'm the 5th owner. I bought it at 85,000 miles and now it's on 108,000. So I'm currently on 143,000 miles now. Forgot that I actually gave all that info about the car then, that's quite useful. We started on the exterior in this video. I've got this carbon fiber Mugen style grille, which I'm a big fan of. It's so mad seeing the Mugen grille, which is in way better condition. Well, now obviously it's fresh. The years in between then and now, this took an absolute beating, as many of you saw. It got refreshed, so now it looks actually how it looks in this video, which is quite funny. Nothing's really changed to me on this actually, apart from it getting reconditioned. Obviously, as you know, I have the genuine one at home, but I just prefer the carbon look, so that's why I've still got this one. From there, we've got this dodgy front bumper that basically, look, finger goes in the gap. The dodgy front bumper, man, this was a problem for so long. Well, it's not even perfect now. If you see this in person, you'll see there's quite a lot of like stretching and stuff where the bumper's sagging for so many years that it's like caused actual damage to the bumper. But this is the best it's ever been. Now you can't get the finger in the gap, like I'm saying in that video, which is quite funny. It doesn't fit 100%, but it is at a point where I'm happy to leave it compared to how it was, and actually got worse than what it was in this video. A previous owner must have mounted a curb or something, because basically under here, this front lip here is just smashed up. It's held together with cable ties. It's all just proper JDM bodge job. So the only reason I found that is because the front lip that came on this was like a really horrible, badly sprayed job. Yeah, all the damage that I'm talking about as well, that's all gone now because this is a completely different front bumper. The issues weren't the bumper itself, it was clearly the way that it was being mounted, and I think it was because I wasn't mounting it using the stuff underneath. A new design front lip, that will be a separate video coming at some point in the future because I'm fed up of this panel gap. Wow, it's just so crazy even thinking of the car without these front lips, like I'm mentioning that it's happening, and the fact that was like 4 or 5 years ago is crazy. The headlights look horrendous as well. Headlights, yeah, that's an interesting one. So these are brand new ones, but in the time since this video, I did that full V1 of the whole inside, painting it all black and everything. And I had various different issues with those headlights. Like the headlights, I guess, worked, but there was problems where there were some clips that were broken and just various other little things. There was a bit of a leak from when I took them apart and all that, which means I ended up buying these brand new ones. And I haven't replaced the innards of these yet because I have a V2 headlight coming at some point. I swapped them over and I hate the chrome. As soon as I swapped them, I was like, ah, it's so bad. But fresh lenses and all the clips being fine, not broken, makes such a huge difference. And just changing these headlights over so that they're brand new made it look like a brand new car in the front. The OEM wheels, I got them in anthracite. Okay, we've got wheels and these have clearly changed since then. I still actually own the anthracite wheels that I'm talking about in this video because, like I say, it was an incredible bargain, and just in case I ever need them, I could actually even potentially use them for the track EP3 in the future, as like having that as just a separate set of tyres on those or something. Obviously since then this area has changed to the RPF ones and to the DC5 Brembo brakes as well. And pretty mad seeing how just the standard car looks with the standard wheels. It's still, I think, a really good look though. The anthracite grey, I think, works really well with the cosmic grey. I was looking at the Uniroyal Rain Sport 3s. Had Uniroyal Rain Sport 3s, these tyres that came on these wheels, those were the tyres I had before I ended up getting these Michelin PS5s as well. Got some Climb Air wind deflectors. Still haven't spent the money on on the JDM wind deflectors, and I don't think I will, to be honest. These Climair ones are still in the same place that they were in this video 5 years ago. They haven't popped out or anything like the Heiko ones. These are great if you don't want to pay for the JDM ones, or you're fed up of the Heiko ones bending or coming off or whatever. So these Climair ones, I think they're like £50, but it's basically like I've installed them and then left them. So I think it's kind of worth it. Could even look at it as £10 per year so far, and yeah, not had any issues. So would definitely recommend these. And I guess the other thing that has changed on the side since then is I have these carbon fiber pieces here, which again looks so good, and just flow the carbon around the side of the car. Nothing else, I guess, has changed on this side, apart from the fact that it's all been fully resprayed and all the door dings and everything all taken out of this side. And this is like the good side of the car, the bit you always see in photos or in video like right now, because this is the good side. Anyway, let's move around the back. Got this Mugen style wing with carbon fiber fin. So as you can see, I don't have that Mugen spoiler anymore. I do still own that Mugen spoiler, and again, that is going to end up on the track EP3 at some point. But now I have the Seibon full carbon Mugen spoiler, not just the blade being carbon, but the whole thing as well. So the reason I was changing that out, that needed a full refurb. I do have a full video on installing this thing, which shows you why I ended up changing that one. But yeah, again, the full carbon was always the one I wanted in my head. The genuine ones never came in carbon, and it just, again, flows with the rest of the car with all those little carbon accents. Then I've got this carbon hydro dipped effect piece here that actually my girlfriend snapped off here, as you can see. Instead of having the broken piece here, I now have a full replacement piece and then genuine carbon fiber from Carbon My Ride over the top of that. This was, again, something I just was always the plan, really, and looks so good. Again, flowing the carbon throughout the rest of the car. I think the reason the carbon works so well with the color of this car is because the gray strands in the carbon work against the gray of the paint, but then you get the black, which is like an offset, and that's why there's other touches of black, like with the rear tint in the windows, stuff like that. Then I've tinted the rear lights myself very badly. So this side, if you don't look here, this side looks all right. Pretty happy with this bit, but then you look here and you can see it's all like creased on here and the sides are flipping up. Since then, I've tinted them again and potentially done a worse job the second time than I did the first time. They are so bad. Again, it's the same thing of me where if you cover this bit, it looks all right and this bit's okay, but it is dreadful. And the plan is to actually get someone that knows what they're doing to actually sort these out and do the same exact smoke that I've got, but just properly, rather than it flaking off and looking terrible like it does right now. This is one of those things that now that this car is getting close to being almost finished, that I'm actually going to focus on, because yeah, it's sort of bringing the car down. Once you know about it, you can't really unsee it. You see these lovely scratches that someone did to my car. Basically, it was parked up outside my house. Someone pulled out and hit it and then didn't leave a note. So that damage got repaired, and the amount of times that people have just like brushed this car while pulling out of somewhere is just, it must have happened 5-6 times. That was, at that point, the worst damage I had before the damage happened on this side, which ended up getting that whole side painted. But as you can see, the rear lip did happen, and again, it's weird seeing the car with the standard lip on it. I'm surprised not more people run this, actually. I think it's quite a subtle, like OEM plus kind of look. The exhaust, I got it in 2 parts basically. So I got a spoon back box I got first, the N1 back box. As you guys are all very well aware, I have changed from the spoon system that I'm talking about in this video, and this was actually before the spoon manifold as well, changed to the solid fab super silent exhaust system. I'm very happy with the change. Actually, at this point, before I did the manifold, the spoon system was actually quite good sounding for like using daily, but as soon as I put the manifold on, it just became, over time, just way too much. This system is, in my opinion, the best exhaust system you can get for if you're daily driving your EP3. Obviously, if people just want loud and they're not worried about that, then get the unsilenced version of this, but this is what I think is the perfect sweet spot, where you still get the power advantages of it being a 3-inch system, but you don't have too much noise coming from it for daily driving. The red lower control arms and stuff with the yellow speed suspension and stuff, Progress rear anti-roll bar brace and the DME red lower control arms are still on the car. This is only like my 4th ever video. I'd only just fitted it from the suspension stuff, so it looked brand new still, because it was brand new. After 4 years of being daily driven on the roads, it was starting to show some signs like paint was peeling off. There's a little bit of surface rust and things like that. So obviously, whilst everything was off at Motion Motorsport, I sent it off to get powder coated along with all the other stuff that got powder coated under here, which is why now I currently don't have the Progress sticker on the back of the car, but I have a cool idea for that coming soon, so you'll see that in a future video. So now I've changed from the light grey that the part originally comes in to like a dark anthracite grey. Still love the red lower control arms, still don't understand why not more companies offer them in red, so that setup hasn't changed down the back at all. When I got the car, because I need it for work and everything, this is my only car, it's my daily, I couldn't go crazy with like performance mods and stuff, because then it would just be too loud and I can't just show up to work and have like a stupidly loud car. But basically when I'm saying this, that it was like I need it for work, in my head then I was like, oh, I need to keep it kind of low key because I'm going to be showing up to the thing. That went completely out the window, as you can tell with everything. Like I just went, oh, it'll be fine. I just find it funny that I'm saying this, because I think even in my head then I was like, I'm probably going to change some of this stuff in the future. I just went full send after this point really, with making all the videos and everything as well. And I've never actually had a complaint about this car, so I guess what I'm saying here was completely pointless. Either way, it's changed quite a lot since this video. So things that have stayed the same in the engine bay since then are the Tegewa air intake, and I just wish I started making videos on the car sooner than when I did, because I've had quite a few people ask me about if there's a video for the install of this thing, which there isn't. Then we've also got the carbon fiber on top of the battery. This is actually real carbon fiber now, whereas in this video it was like a sheet with a sticker on it. So that's changed. I've still got the same carbon fiber on top of the engine bay. I do need to replace this because this is very yellow, and I actually got this secondhand, so I just never got around to buying a new one. As you can see, the Mugen logo is starting to peel away, which is a very sad sight. So I may end up ordering another one of these rocker covers too. Compared to this video, loads has changed, absolutely loads. So I basically started with like aesthetic mods, hence why there's more of those than there are performance stuff. So in here we've got the carbon cover here, we've got the carbon spark cover. As you can see in that, I still have the standard inlet manifold. I have the like OEM carbon fiber piece that covers that area, and obviously all of that has changed. So now I've got the Skunk 2 Ultra inlet manifold in here. I've got the bigger injectors because I've got the cams in the engine now. The Skunk 2 washers on here. This Mugen rocker cover. We've got this different oil cap now. Oh, we've also now got this black hose, because when I originally got the Tegewa intake, it came with the OEM hose because I never had the OEM hose, and I've now also got the black Tegewa extended radiator hose as well in here, various things like that. This Mugen oil cap. Yeah, the Mugen oil cap is non-existent. I lost it driving home, I don't even know how many years ago now, can't have been long after this video. Yeah, it just came off at some point, and luckily, somehow, my whole engine bay wasn't covered in oil. Then this red battery tie down from MJC, still got that. This hasn't changed. Still got these bits in here as well. You can get these in real carbon actually, and I've been tempted to do it, but they are quite expensive, and because I've already got these ones, I don't know if it's, we'll see. Like you'll see in this video, I mentioned that about something else, then I ended up buying that. So we'll see. I'm undecided because like I kind of would rather spend that money on the S2000 now. I'm kind of debating whether to get this, because you can get this slam panel in carbon. I might do that too, but at the same time, it is only a Civic, and I don't know if it's really worth spending that kind of money on it. I don't know. Like I say, it is only a Civic, and is it worth doing this piece? Actually, it turns out that this whole carbon slam panel piece here is actually one of my favourite bits. It is my favourite piece that Carbon My Ride make, and it's one of my favourite bits because of the way, again, it flows the carbon from the grille into the engine bay, and the fact that the carbon weave goes the same way as the grille makes my OCD very happy. That all flows. And like, I literally just, again, went full send from this point on, basically. So much of this stuff, I guess, is unnecessary if you think about it that way. And then yeah, you can just see here the top of the yellow speed coilovers, so go check the video out on that if you want to see the install of those. Yep, still got the yellow speed coilovers in here as well, looking way more fresh in this video than they do now. They've again seen 5 years of use since then. Haven't really had any major issues with these, so would definitely recommend them. And now there's a lot more bushes and things on the underside of the car to support the other benefits that those coilovers give you. Back when I filmed this video, I'd only just put the coilovers on, so I didn't actually know too much about how much of a difference they would be and how long they would last, all that kind of stuff. So the fact they're still going is pretty sweet, and I've learned a lot more about and have changed more suspension bits since then as well to make this car even better. I guess the only thing in this area that's changed, as well as all the bits I've already mentioned, is the bonnet. This was always a piece, literally ever since I got the car, that I always wanted, and I'm very happy that I have it. It looks so good on this car, and again, the carbon flowing from the grille into this is cool cool because the weave on this is different to the weave on the grille. So this is more of like the straight line kind of weave rather than going off to one side either way, which I was worried about at the time, whether it would work with the grille, but actually you don't really notice it too much because it does kind of just like go into it. Also very happy that I PPF'd this thing because I've already had some little stone chips and what have you that have obviously hit the PPF and not hit the clear coat on the bonnet, so the bonnet itself is fine. Last but not least is the interior, and that is actually where I spent most of my first mod time. So yeah, no idea what I'm talking about when I say mod time. It was literally just that this was where I focused my first energy, because back then again I was like, I don't want to make it too loud or all that kind of stuff. So again, it's another thing where I wish that I'd actually started making the videos on this car when I first started doing stuff to it, because pretty much all of the interior was done before I started making the videos too, and I guess those would have been cool videos about like sourcing these seats and like where I got the mats from, which I obviously still have and still are one of my favorite things in the car. Rookie error on my part really, I should have just started sooner. This isn't a Premier Edition, it's a January 2004 car. The original steering was pretty ruined and this one is now getting ruined because of how many miles I've done. So I got this wheel to replace that, and then I wanted the Momo on the bottom. Steering wheel is still the same steering wheel, looking even more worse for wear than I mentioned in that video. I'm gonna change this and I can't decide at the moment what I'm gonna do, whether I'm just gonna get this retrimmed. The downside to that is I'll lose the Momo, which is one of the reasons why I bought this wheel. Or do I go for a carbon wheel? Or do I just fully replace it and do like the Mugen wheel or the spoon wheel? Not sure, because I do quite like having an airbag, because this is the daily. Like, this thing is looking pretty tired and way more tired than it did 5 years ago, but it's not horrendous. So good to know that 5 years worth of wear hasn't been too bad on it. And I've also done like a badge replacement on here that says Mugen. My advice would be don't do it. Yeah, still got the Mugen badge in the middle as well. With me saying in this video that my advice would be don't do it, I would say do it, but don't pull your other badge out, because as you see from that video, I absolutely annihilated the first badge and was just very lucky to get a hold of the second one with it being out of a crashed car. My advice would be just take the airbag out so it's not connected to anything, and then wrap the badge, which is basically all I have actually done, and then stick this Mugen one over the top. I can't find the exact listing which I bought mine for, because it doesn't actually say that it's for this car anymore, so I don't know if it is exactly the same thing, but I can only assume that it is. But I got it off eBay. I'm pretty sure it'll be the same one that's on eBay now if you can find it, and I'm very glad that I wrapped the black behind it, because you can't tell that it's a sticker on top of the original badge. We've got some Mugen pedals that just look cool. Not really any benefit to them. They look grippy, but they're not really, because your foot doesn't really touch that bit. It hits the metal on the outside. Yeah, still got the same Mugen pedals. They are pretty much, by the looks of it, in this pretty much the same condition that they were in this video, probably just a little bit more wear. And then we've got the JDM floor mats. Those are just amazing. And actually the quality of these compared to the UK mats is just like, they're like twice as thick. Yeah, still same opinions on the mats as well. One of my favorite things still, as I've already said, and yeah, they're getting harder to find in good condition actually, so I would try and scoop some up if you can. The carbon dipped center console, carbon dipped clocks around, and carbon dipped door handle pieces. The carbon center console is still the same, and I realised I don't in that video mention I've got a single DIN head unit, so obviously I've upgraded since then. Well, I've upgraded twice, so now I've got this Kenwood unit in here, which is just Apple CarPlay, really good. I had the Android one for ages, which is also good if you're on a cheaper price point, that kind of stuff. But yeah, still got the carbon around here, still got the carbon around the clocks, and I kind of still have the carbon, I guess, on the door handles too, except now I've got the Carbon My Ride carbon piece stuck over the top of those hydro dip pieces. I actually need to stick down again, which does kind of make me want to change all the other bits to real carbon fiber too. Blocks gear knob that's neochrome. Interesting choice by me, because if you've noticed, everything is black and red, and this is not black or red, or even carbon fiber. Fun fact actually, that gear knob that I'm talking about in this video, there's, well, two facts about it. First fact is that was the first mod I ever bought for this car, mod number 1. But also I kept it, and you probably know this, but I then moved it into the S2000, and it's just like a cool thing where it was like one of the first things I did to the S2000 was one of the first things I did to this car. But it definitely fits with the theme of the S2000 more than it fits with this one. So I now have the Acuity gear knob, which sits quite a lot lower. As you can see, this is really short short, and I do have the short shifter in here still. The reason I like this is because with it sitting shorter, it gives you like physically a shorter throw between gears, so it's almost like another way of getting a short shifter out of your car without actually changing anything. Obviously with this being red as well, fits with the theme of the car, and so does this Alcantara Gator, which is different as well, and we've still got the 10mm charm from Acuity too. This is Pascal. We got him in a Happy Meal in France on a road trip. Just a good little mascot. Pascal is still in the car. Obviously he's not hanging from here anymore because I didn't want him to wear out the Alcantara, but I've hung him on the back of the seat. Let me get him out so I can prove it. There he is. Again, actually, probably makes more sense in the S2000 because the colours seem to fit that too. Carbon bits in here. The carbon bits in the door pieces here, that's still the same as well. As you can see, nothing changed. The major thing in here, and probably my favourite thing, are these Recaro seats. The seats, which I am still absolutely in love with. This is one of my favourite things that's done to the car. Well, this one, it's not in much worse condition than from this video. Obviously, 40,000 miles of getting in and out of this car since then has shown a bit more wear. They do need another clean again, so I'm gonna get around to doing that at some point. Every time I get in this car, I'm like, yes, these seats are the best. Compared to now, like the bargain I got on these seats compared to what they're worth now is just criminal, basically. They're not perfect. It's crazy to think when I'm saying 2 years ago in this video that it's actually 7 years ago now. Since then, actually not that much has changed in here, except from, well, there are 3 things that I can just see while quickly looking that are different. One is these cushions, these Recaro cushions, not official Recaro, and as you can see, the red isn't the same, but an essential for my girlfriend. And the funny thing I always found about these is the day I got them, because I got these from Japfest. This video must have been just before Japfest, because I came back with these, put them in the car, I picked my girlfriend up, she got in the car, we went to get food, I came back to the car and she was asleep with her head against this, and I was like, well, that obviously proves that they work well. The spoon mirror glass in here, as you probably all remember, I snapped and smashed the first one. That was right around when the whole world went into lockdown, and I believe it was the last one in the country is the one that I broke. And then also behind that we've got this Mugen carbon light. It's not actually official Mugen, but I've seen a real Mugen one and it doesn't look that different, so I wonder whether this is the same, just doesn't have the barcoding on the inside. There is no like fiberglass on the inside, it is literally a full carbon piece, like the actual Mugen piece, if you get what I mean. But in the interior, I believe that is everything. Future plans kind of thing. So I've already spoken about the front and rear lit and bumper respray, so that will be happening, that will be a separate video. It's funny listening to myself saying about what videos are coming soon, because obviously they were now 4 or 5 years ago that these things even happened. Even at the time of filming this video, I don't think I really realised how far I would take this car, and I guess also how many of you guys would actually be watching. Like, the channel's grown so much since then, and weirdly this video is one of my most popular videos, and I just find that funny that this was so long ago now that the car has changed so dramatically. At that time, like, I didn't really have a plan for everything that's happened to this car since then, so it's just mad how much has happened, I guess, in that period of time that's so different to how the car was in this video. I'm definitely been in the mind of supercharging this. I've gone between turbo and supercharge. I do want to supercharge over turbocharging it just because I do like the NA feel, but in the last couple of weeks I have been thinking, this isn't like been remapped or anything, so I'm thinking about maybe going down that route because I do just love the NA scream and the NA experience. Around this time was when I was deciding what I was going to do, because obviously at this time I never thought I'd own an S2000. Me thinking about supercharging this car was just because I always wanted to have a supercharged car. The 2 weeks before filming this video, I switched my mindset from having this car to be a supercharged car to wanting to do the NA route, and it's just interesting how the timing worked out of me filming this and me saying that in that video, and then that being the path I actually ended up taking, making this thing the most dailyable NA car while still keeping it K20, if you go what I mean. Like, obviously you could do a K24 Frank engine and get more power that way, but I think for a daily car this is about as far as you can take the K20 with it still being like drivable every day and like driving normally every day, as well as having decent-ish fuel mileage and stuff like that. I think this is the perfect package for like the best of all worlds, really. It's just so mad looking back and seeing how different the car is now compared to then, and how my mindset's changed a little bit, but still I had these plans and I've actually followed through with those plans. Because yeah, like I've said multiple times in other videos, like this car is really close to being finished, so there's only a handful of things left to do to it before it is actually how I wanted it and how I guess I wanted it in that video back then. Let me know down below what you think to this kind of video, because I can do this with other videos too. Like, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, looking back at past videos of myself. It's weird, but also really cool, because yeah, that's the other cool thing about having a YouTube channel, is I can look back at all the stuff I've done over the years and just see the progression of how the car's changed. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Please do consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below on if you think I've done myself justice compared to what I was talking about the car 5 years ago. Like this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.